I don't know if I'm recording right now or not. This has been a wild week last week. And I'm going to trade today just a fresh eval because I have my other evals that are in good standing and almost funded. And then I have a funded account that I hope to take a withdrawal later on this week. So I don't want to risk them in this environment. We opened at the lows, the overnight lows. We broke the overnight low by more than a couple of ticks, by more than a couple of points. I mean, this is the overnight low at 87, and we've come all the way down here to 72 almost. But we had some absorption up here. Then we broke through it. We had some absorption down here. We broke through it. We've left a price rejector and we've double bottomed. So who knows? Price action looks like we're going to go lower. This is an Apex $250,000 account, and I am trading micros because these bounces are big. So you can be right and still lose money. We did not leave a price rejector, but now we have broken that. We've double bottomed and exceeded it, but just by a hair. I need to see it get below here, stay below here, and build some momentum. But what I might do is start with the tiniest of sizes and nibble in short here. And I'll probably nibble in short all the way back up to 5,700 because, yeah, that's how big the range is right now. And the sweeps are god awful. So you've got to leave an exceedingly large amount of room if you're going to trade this at all. I'm going to double check that I'm actually recording. Nope. Yeah. Okay. 2 minutes. All right. I can't go live yet because I just don't have myself organized. So I'm going to continue with this just train of thought trading and recording and just put it up just to kind of build a library of examples. And I mean, this market with everything that this, is going geopolitically, I don't want to debate politics here, but I do think what the Trump administration is doing, what they want to do, their intention is good. It's not going to be good for the markets. It's like taking medicine. If we are going to get to a balanced budget, if we are going to slow inflation down, we've got to take some of the sauciness and the frothiness out of this market. It's in over its skis. And now with the advent of algorithms on steroids with AI, the sweeps and the overlapping price action is going to only get worse or more dramatic. So you just have to size down, take profits frequently, and protect yourself when you get in a good position, a profitable position, and shake it off when you have a bad trade because they're going to happen. There we go. See if it'll sweep down and maybe we're going to go up for a little while before we go down. Who knows? So let's give it a second here. This is a very tiny trading range after we've been so far. Keeping an eye over here at the big fat round number, this 42,500. If we get back below that and head back down in the YM, that would be the catalyst to see the NQ, the YM, and the ES all share the Magnificent Seven, or for the most part. There's a few things that are not in the YM that are in the Magnificent Seven. So when the NQ is moving hard in one direction, it is impossible for the YM and the ES to fight that for very long. They can't move in opposite directions when they share components. Now, there's weighting that goes on, weighting as in how much, how much something weighs, not like waiting in line. So that's why you want to be real careful when these markets are not in alignment, right? They're not going the same direction. So I'm right now definitely biased to the downside, although we're trying to push up right now. So I think any strength is something to be sold into at this point, but you need to wait for it to stretch. And stretch it will do today. Sorry, I'm reading messages right now. Do we have... So no, it looks like it's just wanting to go down. So let's nibble short again. Do see a lot of buying here though, but we have a lot of buying and we're going down. So that should tell you something. And there's no big obvious reason for us to go back to the lows necessarily. So I would probably just try to take profit as it comes to me. And when it doesn't quite reach me and it wants to bounce, then I'll take it anyway. I could take a look at NQ and see what's going on. Yeah, it's a little too thin for my liking. Stick with ES this morning. I will say, since we've slowed down a bit, I might come over here and trade a little bit in the minis. Now with the minis, I'm going to be a little quicker to take profits. I'm not going to let it stretch quite so much. It's trying to come off here though, so maybe it's the long that I want to take. Ah, missed that one. Oh boy. Yep, she's tricky. Oh, I don't have any music here. Okie dokie. Let's try to get out of that one. Because now we're hitting the bottom. I'm actually going to go a little bit in case we get a big sweep to the downside. I'm going to bounce back up. Okay, got lucky. Got lucky. All right, let's go find some musica. How about this? Righto. I'm up a whopping $90 in this account. Okay, it looks like we're pushing down. So let's join that momentum. I'm going to add to it if it pushes up. If it's not, I'm just going to protect it. Let's see where it goes. See, those bounces are pretty wicked. And you can't worry that you only got 5 ticks there because we're fortunate we got 5 and we're not offsides by 20. And now to the upside we go. And that's the nature of this beast. We just moved from 67 to 75. We moved almost 8-9 points. Just like that. And it looks like we might be heading down further. So I'm going to take a swing at it like this, knowing that I might be very, very wrong here. So now we're not bouncing and we're just under that 50. No. Here we go. Oh, come on. Oh, that was... I'm going to get lucky here. Thank God. Okay, how about right here? And I'm going to protect this even more. That's why you have to have a really large account. All right. I'm just going to keep a tight stop on this. Matter of fact, I'm going to take profit right there. Give it a break. As a matter of fact, I'm going to switch over to this account. Wait for a pullback here if I can get it. left it. It has UV up here. Oops. And the pushes down. I like to put, I'm still doing limit trades. Okay, okay. So you just gotta take a little break here. Boy, this is trading like the NQ. We're not squeezing long or short. I like to wait for the sweeps. I'm gonna sweep down and catch a bounce up. Like that. These NQ moves to the upside have been much stronger than the moves to the downside. We're going to take a cheeky long here. There's UV left in this immediate. Very cheeky. Oh, no. Okay, good. No, that was successful. Not as much as I had hoped, but let's see where we go from here. So this account, Apex, 250,000, you get $6,500 in drawdown, and it is a trailing drawdown, so it moves with you. So you don't want to let anything get too far off sides in terms of numbers of dollars, so never use your full size. You get 27 minis, which is a lot. You should never have to use that many. I'll use to about half of that when I'm in almost like in a protective way. You've seen me add a great deal of size, and I've set my order outside so I can get swept into it, bounce back in, and hopefully get out with a small loss or some profit. Sometimes you catch a nice big runner that way. Now it looks like we might be heading back down. This is a big node right here where we were, if you can see that shadow behind here. This was a lot of selling. This was some buying. So we're kind of hanging out right here in the 75, 76 area. But we have definitely established that the market wants to go lower. How much lower? Don't know. Will we do it today? Don't know. We could fill the gap because we opened way down. So there's a lot of things that can go on. The YM is still, it's down for the day, but it's up from the open. So could move this since that's kind of irrelevant now. Our new low is here. And I just put that green because I can see it much easier in the corner of my eye. This is the IB low and the low of the day. As a matter of fact, it's almost 10:30, so we might be heading for a break of the IB, and then we'll see. Do we drop down here just a point or two and then head back into the range? It doesn't feel like it wants to have the whole bottom fall out. But that can change in an instant. It's hard to say who might be speaking to what. Trump's got so many people talking everywhere. things can see. There are algorithms that are reading the news, and there are people behind those algorithms that are writing that code to say if then this, right? So if this happens, then go short. If this happens, close out my trade. If this happens, go long. And it can be a lot of different things. It could be, if Mexico slaps us back with, matching tariffs, if this happens, if China does that, if they release 6 more hostages, who knows why people take. And we're also trading an index. I'm going to actually go short here because we are heading to the low. But I'm going to take profit before we get there. I'm not going to add too much right away because we could move quite a ways away from this area before we head down. But it seems like a break of the IB low is imminent. Okay, there we go. And we've left UB here. There we go. So that was the trade. Now, will we break it? If we do, how far will we go? I think I might set a trade just on this side of it and see if it'll come down to me and sweep up. So I'm banking on a weak break of the IB. So if we break it hard and keep going down, I'm going to be off sides. This is a poor low. It's actually come right down to it and left a price rejector. Likelihood of that breaking is very high, but it does seem like it wants a weak break. So I might be cheeky here. And if I get 10 ticks, I'm going to go ahead and take it. I'm going to go long again, though. We still haven't technically broken that IB low. So I am cognizant of that. But that could be it. I don't know why we would stop at 56, 67 and a quarter. That's really not a thing. So let's see what happens when we get down there again. I want to wait for a push to add to this so I can lower my average. Or if it comes up, I could take one off. Kind of want to leave one long on there though. It could be front running this here, and I would actually add to it. Let's not do it at 666. And then I'm actually going to hover over the flat button just in case we get some wild move that I just want to bail on. Because even though this is an eval and it's the first day, I don't want to waste whatever it was, $30. I'll swing hard if I'm in a good place on the first day. Okay, so we've broken it. Left a price rejector, but we're not moving away from it just yet. This might break hard, so I'm going to go down a little further here. See a little bounce. It's buying here. More buyers and sellers. Oof. Oh, we've got UV now. I'm going to pull this down here. This is very dangerous. But if I were in micros, this is exactly how I would trade it. And so far, I'm just giving up my profits for the morning. I want to take some sun. There's a nice little price rejector. Now I'm in official loss territory here, and we're probably going to go down. So I'm probably just going to have to hit the flat button. I'm pulling these trades away. Now I got a little absorption. Nope. Yeah, there we go. Okay, flat. Oof, that hurt. So now we're down 3,000. That's half of this account. So I'm going to let that one breathe because this one is still intact. But I'm going to take a minute. It was a good trade. I could have cut my losses sooner. But the way this thing has been, okay, we left a zero print, so I am going to go long here. If I can get in there. Oh, there we go. We've cleared that zero print though, so this may not be the right move. There we go, take one off. So now we have officially traversed much further than a week break. So honestly, the long idea is probably not the right one. But we have a price rejector there. I'd say we're going to go at least to 56.50. But maybe not right now. We got orders sitting down here. I need to see this break, and I need to see UV before I want to go short. There we go. And we have a large order here. Let's see what happens. Do we get 280 traded here? I'm not going to add to this trade right away because we could travel a long ways away. There we go. I'm just going to put it protected. These are stops runs, so I'm going to put my short back on. Now we've got a new low again. We keep making lower lows. Those were stops that got triggered, so we're likely to go down here and clean that up. Again, I think the next big fat round number, 5650, is in play. I'm going to add one here and probably take it right back off just to be safe. See, I can't even, there we go. Give it a minute. I want to see it get back down there like it really wants to take out those stops. See, now that YM has turned and we're all in agreement. Down is the way we want to go for right now. But the snapbacks, woo, wicked. The way to handle these evaluation accounts so you don't just continually blow them up is look for a sale and buy as many as you can afford. And I don't agree with some of the traders that they do it by like the dozen. They buy 10 or 12 of the evals and they just blow through them. I don't agree with that. And some of the evaluators will block you from being able to trade for doing that. So you got to be very careful. However, having multiple evals, just for the reason you just saw, where you can take a little more risk, and then just kind of set that one aside for a little bit. So I've got that other these two, I just got these two new ones today for this week, specifically because the markets were moving so crazy. These are the kind of price action days that you can get an account funded in one day or blow it up in one day. So these are kind of the way you can trade and sharpen your skills and your hand-eye coordination and potentially get a new funded account easily without risking really any money. I mean, because these cost all of $30 or something to purchase. With the Apex Trader funding, you have to trade 5 days, but for this size eval, I have to make $15,000. So now we're just kind of meandering back down. That doesn't mean we won't pick up the pace, but I would be inclined to take a long if we swept down. I'm not going to get a position on and try to add to it here. Okay, we are meandering, but we're hovering down at the lows. So my thought of going long is diminishing. As we approach the low, staring down the barrel at those stops run, I'm interested in getting short here, but I'm going to protect it quickly or take profits quickly because I've already got my finger burnt once here. Sorry. Okie doke. Still a little schizophrenic. I'm seeing the NQ bouncing pretty hard, which makes me again tempted to take a little long here. I think maybe right here in front of these single prints or zero prints. Whoops, that was already too fast. Let's hope I get a bounce here. See, now we've got sellers right here and they got absorbed. Oof. I'll be very lucky if it bounces for me here. Okay. Well, now we put in a, no, we didn't. We're going lower. We have UV here, so I'm pretty confident we're going to keep going down. And we've got everybody else thinking that we're getting down here to 50 as well. But nothing much beyond that, so that might be a decent trade idea. I'm going to put a little take profit ahead of this UV because it looks like we're going to bounce a bit. Or we're not. All right, let's see what happens. This has been very schizophrenic market here, and I like that I'm up $800 on the first day in this one after getting my butt kicked on the other one. Okay, I like moving further away, leaving UV down there. It gives me a little bit of an opportunity. Not anymore. By the time I think it out loud, it's over with. Okay, so now we've got a price rejector. And I've told you guys before that I live right next door to a naval air station. If that continues, I will have to cut our recording short. So that is a nice little price rejector. But again, we're not quite down where I think we're going to go. Okay. Boy, this is a tough decision. I could have stayed long there. This is a cheeky long. I don't want to chase it. It could come back down and beat me up. If it wants to pick me up there, I'll be happy to take the long, but I'm not convinced we're done to the downside. And that's okay. What you can do in situations like this is just move over to the micros. And we're going to take that trade idea long. But now we've given ourselves the ability to add to it all the way back down here. Yes, we're not going to make as much money if it just goes up from here, but at least we don't miss out completely. So now we're getting back up to this. This is our IB break, right? So this is an IP, a potential inflection point. and we are inflecting back and forth around here. The market's trying to decide what to do. Our LRCs are turning here, so it looks like we're going to go down for a bit anyway. Add to this. Add to it again. I like, now Apex frowns on this. They call it dollar cost averaging, which is not the correct term for it. I am lowering my average price here, so I'm going to split this in half. If I have 6 contracts here at 58.50 and I have 6 contracts up here at 56, this was 56, 58.50, 56, 63. Oh, now I'm back to, but anyway, this would split it in half, and it would keep me closer. Now I'm going to take some off here. Probably should just take all off. If I can. But the reason why you would do that, and you really don't want to do it multiple times because then you're literally just adding to a bad trade. But my idea of long here is still valid all the way down to this low. So I'm not opposed, especially in the micros, because I would be doing this with the minis. I would just doing one contract at a time. But I like to add to this in doubles, right? So I'm cutting it in half. Trying to keep my break even within a couple of points. And so now if we go all the way down here, I'm probably just going to have to quit. Because here we go. The NQ is really pushing down. And we're not firing short on my other chart over here, so I might hang out just a little bit longer. I don't want to give up much more than about 500 here because I'm up, good $800 for the day in this account, so I don't want to. So now we've got UV. So we're in the same position we were in last time in the other account, but I am in micros. I'll let it marinate here just a little bit longer, only because we have been going back and forth so much. But I'm not going to add to it here. There's a nice little zero print just filled in. Let's see, I'm in 24. What I might do is come over here and add a long down here. Because it costs a lot to add your micros. Let's see if we can. These I'm just going to be trying to add to this to reduce my loss over here. So every time it pushes down, I might add one and take it off with a few ticks. But see, the bounces are getting shallower and shallower and shallower, and I'm way off sides here, so this is no bueno. all the way down to 50. That's where we're going. So if I really want to be super cheeky, I need to put 24 on down here. And still try to play this over here. I am at flat right now for the day. Okay, well, that's good. Let's see if I can. Oh, are we just going to blow out to the downside? Here's where I will start taking off, just to reduce my exposure if I can. We did hit 50. I'm going to take another one off here. Let's see if I can get this back to positive. Do we leave? No, we have a price rejector. We exceeded that 50 just a hair. So I'm not liking that. We still have not fired short though. It means there's not that many sellers down here, and it looks pretty even. But the buyers are not able to lift this. Yep, we're going lower. Super hard day. We're down 100 points. Yeah, we're heading down. Stops run 48. And this is why we're not trading our evals that are that are in profit. Better to do this in a fresh eval. Let's see if I can take some off here. Now we're firing short. So I'm going to add a short position over here. Oh, missed it. Okay, we're going to quit. We're going to quit here. So we're down 700 in this one. Bummer. Tricky trading, and then it goes up. Because I'm not the only one that was caught off sides there. All right, but we're not going to jump in with both feet. We're going to watch this for a second. I like to trade this one back because I want to see that red turn into green. It just helps me know where I'm at. But I don't want to over trade here because the micros do per contract cost more, relatively speaking. So in other words, one tick in the minis is profitable. You pay $4 or $5 for the fee, and you make $12.50 per tick. In the micros, you pay $1.25 or $1.50, and one tick is $1.25. So you're either at break even at one tick or you're in the hole at one tick. So for every micro you trade contract wise, you have to make 2 ticks to even be profitable. Okay, so we've exceeded the 50 mark, but it is an inflection point. It's hanging out here. We have put in a price rejector just below it, but it is not lifting, and we are firing short. So at the very least, up is not necessarily the way just yet, although that might be changing here. Okay, in the micros, I'll let that sweep down and put 4 in if I can. If not, I'll just protect this one and see how far we get. If it can't lift significantly here, see, then I'm not going to chase it. Now here I want to wait for pushes down that I can take advantage of the bounce. Zero prints are often revisited, so I have an order right in here in the middle of these zero prints. They're almost always revisited, especially if they're in the whole RTH. But the fact that we're kind of around these, we might come back down, fill these in, and then go up. Or we might just go right through them. So back at the 666. Kind of want out of that as quick as I can get out of it. But we've fired long, oddly enough. A squeeze indicator. We're back to the IB low. Interestingly enough, are we going to take another dive and make a new low? We could. We absolutely could. And I will literally just dig myself out of this hole in micros and make my trading day at least a minimal success. If nothing else, I've stayed alive to fight another day. U.S. consumer 1 year spending growth expectations 5% in February, and it's 4.39% in January. I'm just looking at the news. We just had some come out. That's probably why we've popped up. So spending growth expectations have dropped. Not sure why that's good news, but the markets are funny like that. I think it's best to get out of this. It feels like it's heavy. I may not be able to get out of this. Treading water here. It looks a little like we're starting to roll over in the ES. YM is not pushing up too hard. Here we go. Okay. Do you see why I'm using such small size? We can move considerably and knock off our debt here, but you can get upside down really quick. There's no big reason to go down. There's no great reason to go up. So we're probably going to range around the rest of the day. So I think we will probably end this session now. Not every day is a green day, but that's why you have evaluators, so that you can sharpen the saw, you can get better, and you can have, perhaps we settle into a range that's tradable that I could switch over to my funded account and carefully extract some actual money out of this market. But for now, I see a pretty balanced market just above the lows. Let's move this down here. See what happens the rest of the day, and I will continue to work on getting my act together so that I can actually do this live on YouTube in the near future. So thank you for joining me if you have. I'll talk to you soon.